If your home is your primary retirement asset, then every single dollar you spend needs to work for you. Today, we're going to be talking about 6 of the highest ROI improvements that actually add value to your house. And be sure that you stick around to the very end because I'm going to give you a special bonus to help you understand as to whether or not you should do the work or if you should hire someone else to do it for you. Let's get started. My first recommendation focuses on simple asset preservation. Investing in something so simple, anybody can do it, and that's painting, both your interior and your exterior. This remains the #1 ROI improvement that you can make to help increase your bottom line. The logic here is sound. A neutral, clean palette signals to a buyer that a home is well maintained, not just updated. Believe it or not, this one simple modification historically over the past few years has netted people on average 107% return on investment. Not to mention an additional 55% for any exterior painting that was done. However, the biggest variable here, as we know it, is labor costs. So to maximize this kind of investment, consider doing the work yourself. If you're not capable, obviously you're gonna have to hire it out to someone that is, because if you do a sloppy job, well, we all know that's not going to fare well for you. Now, it's very important that you buy a high quality grade paint. Don't just buy the cheapest stuff on the market. This is something that you may not know. Use a flat or matte paint on standard walls and flat white for ceilings. Flat sheens absorb light and hide imperfections, making older walls look newer. Semi-gloss is reserved only for trim indoors. The exception is for bathrooms. While flat paint is popular, a satin or specialized moisture-resistant formula is necessary to prevent peeling and mold in human zones. To give you some added value, down below I've left some prime paint choices that if you are struggling in this department that you can use to help you in your future project. This structural component has produced over 93% return on investment over the past few years, and it often accounts for over 30% of the actual facade of the house. This is not a project that I would recommend that you do yourself, unless of course you have the experience and knowledge to do so. Garage door systems operate under extreme tension, so you really need to be careful. For the minimal cost of labor, about a single day for a specialist crew, you buy both safety and a peace of mind. A clean, functioning garage door signals to a buyer that the core systems of the house are secure. So keep that in mind and be sure that you don't miss out on this huge ROI opportunity. Next item on the list is adding significant exterior elevation through manufactured stone veneer. This product alone has yielded over a 92% return on investment and is often what separates the most valuable homes on the block. For a homeowner with just a moderate level of workshop experience, this is highly doable yourself. The product comes in engineered panels with straightforward mounting systems. Be sure that if you're going to do this work, make sure that you do it right. Consult with people that have experience if you don't have it, if you do want to do it yourself. By taking the time to ensure that things are done with quality, this is where the extra money is going to be made on the back end. Kitchen remodels can oftentimes be disastrous if you don't plan and do things strategically. So what I'm referring to in this video is minor, not major upgrades. The average investment for a complete gut and layout change is tens of thousands of dollars. And national data proves you can only recoup about 50 to 60% of the cost upon sale. The goal is to show buyers that you are intentional about doing some updates. Because whenever you sell your property, especially if you bought it in the past and it was online, one of the first things that people always look at is how it looked before. And when they walk in the door this time, if they see something different, especially the kitchen, because it's a major focal point, it's really going to help. But again, it doesn't need to be a total makeover. For countertops, select standard white quartz with subtle veining, and always be sure that you hire a professional to install it. If you pay $3,000 for a quartz slab and you're doing the project yourself and you make a mistake and it breaks, you just absorbed a substantial financial mistake. If the installer breaks it, that's their expense. Honestly, I would just accept the trade-off and hire a professional to be sure it's done right. These last 2 improvements aren't going to dramatically boost your equity because these are fundamental maintenance concerns that everyone is always concerned about, especially when they're paying top dollar for a house. The first item on the list is siding. And for this choice, I would recommend you go with vinyl siding. Vinyl siding is often the smart financial choice over fiber cement due to its maintenance-free longevity and lower cost. And for windows, vinyl also outperforms wood in both cost effectiveness, and ROI. Anytime that someone is touring your house, you always want it to be presented in a way to where no one's going to try to come in and nickel and dime you. If you're spending thousands of dollars on home improvements, but you're missing out on some of the major ones, say windows and siding, then sometimes it doesn't really matter what you've done to the inside of your house because they're automatically in their mind thinking, well, we still have to knock the price off because of these other issues. It's always recommended that you keep up on the yearly cleaning to your siding and your windows to help it last a lot longer. As promised, before you start tearing out walls or calling contractors, I want to give you a simple 3-step checklist that you can apply today to figure out exactly what you should do, whether you should be doing it, or whether in this case you should be hiring someone else to do the work for you. Are you selling in the next 3 years? If so, you should worry about paint and curb appeal. These are going to be the most cost-efficient things that you can do to put the most amount of money in your pocket. Number 2, are you planning on staying for the next 5 years or more? If so, prioritize comfort, energy efficiency, and functional preservation. If your plan is only to stay for 1 to 3 years, your sole focus should be neutral capital preservation. Stick strictly to the ROI projects that we just covered in this video. Fresh paint, door replacements, and stone veneer. And always avoid major renovations because those are going to be more costly and oftentimes aren't going to produce the net potential return that these smaller projects will. If your plan is to stay there for the next 5 to 10 years, well, the math changes completely. You can now then focus on doing those smaller ROI projects like windows and siding because at this point, it's now based on your comfort and your desirability because more than likely over the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to make up for the money on the back end. And on top of that, you're going to be saving money with energy and efficiency costs. So at this point, it's worth it. Doing projects yourself through your own sweat equity is a great way to double your investment, but only if the physical risk is zero. Interior painting, replacing cabinet hardware, or doing exterior veneer work, these are the smaller projects that oftentimes carry a very minimal risk of financial ruin if you make a mistake. However, high-end projects like garage door replacements, window replacements, countertop replacements, you should always consider hiring a professional because they oftentimes will hold a much higher risk tolerance because if you have to keep replacing them, the return on investment on the back end isn't going to match the cost that you put into it. Finally, if you do decide to hire a contractor, be sure that you apply the contractor guaranteed rule. Never hire a contractor on an open-ended time and material basis for home equity projects. Demand a fixed bid scope of work and ensure the contractor includes a written warranty on both labor and materials. If a contractor is not willing to guarantee their work in writing, the risk remains entirely on your shoulders. And in this case, you always want to shift the liability back to the professional. If you're going through the process of remodeling your house, why not understand what are the things that are actually going to make your house look more expensive? And you'll find that video over here. And if you want to know some of the biggest mistakes that people are making right now, well, you can check out this video right here. As always, thanks so much for being here. If you got any value, gently tap that like and subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.